Welcome to Boot Camp, week number 4. I'm Vicki and my husband Mark and I resell on eBay. And Boot Camp is simply a video that I've been putting out on Sundays, giving you a recap of the week and whether or not I reached my goals of listing 5 items a day. Your goal might be 1, 2, 3, or whatever, or more than 5. And to join Boot Camp, pretty simple because it's free. Yes, it's free. All you have to do is commit to getting some listings done and leave a comment and read other people's comments too, and just work towards getting some things listed. Sometimes it's very easy to slack off in summer. Summertime is when we like to source, and sometimes it's not so fun to list, especially if sales are slow, which for some of us, sales are slow. I'm wrapping up week 4 boot camp, and in many ways, it's been a strange week for me. Yeah, kind of strange. Is it the heat? I mean, it is 90 degrees today. It's been hot and it's going to be hot all weekend. Is there something in the air? Is there something I don't know about? Because not only did I struggle a little bit this week with boot camp, I don't know. It just seemed like the week was just kind of off a little bit. Was it off for you? Week 4 of boot camp? Well, regardless, let's get started. I'm setting up a coupon. It's 6:31 and I'm just now starting. We need to talk. And Monday morning I decided to set a 10% off sale. And I thought, well, maybe you don't know how to set a 10% off sale or whatever percentage you want. So I'm going to show you here how I did it. It's Monday and I decided to set up a coupon for some items that I have in my clearance category. For my items that are priced at $18.99, that's this week's markdown price, $18.99, and my clearance category, which has a lot of $18.99 items. So my offer name is 10% off. This is just for us. It's not visible to the buyers. 10% off, $18.99 and clearance, and I dated it 6/17/24. My coupon code, which is public, is TAKE10. You can see they have some suggestions here as well. And then I'm making it a public coupon so anyone can find this coupon code on eBay and use it. I'm choosing 10% off. There's a lot of options here. I'm just going to show you this one here, 10% off. And then I can say, okay, minimum savings is 100. I think I'm going to put minimum savings as 50. And they can redeem the coupon up to 5 times. You can set a budget if you want to. I'm not doing that. And then you can choose your categories. And this is what's very important. You can choose your categories. You can choose eBay categories, but I'm not sure why you would. I mean, most of us have store categories set up. So that's what I chose, store categories. And then I set up for 2 categories. My clearance category, you see it says 18 to 18 and craft corner 18 to 18. But if you choose categories, this is what it looks like. And I chose my clearance category that has 99 items in it. And then over to the right, I was able to set my price range. I just want $18.99 items. And same thing with craft corner. I just chose $18.99 items. And that's all set. So I'm going to just include categories. I mean, I already set it up, but I'm showing it to you now. So there they are right here. And then you can add a photo and description. I've got 10% off select items, limited time offer. I'm running this from Monday through Sunday night at midnight. Well, here's the duration. I'm starting it today. It defaults to July. You have to be so careful. I'm starting it today, June 17th. Oh, nope, this is the end date. This is the end date. I want to end it. They always default 1 month out. I want to end it Sunday evening, the 23rd at 11:30 p.m. so that I can start a new coupon on Monday, should I decide to. And I just chose this photo here with this Mario kids clothes. I'm going to launch this coupon. Oh, it doesn't meet the requirements. Edit your coupon code. It must be 8 to 15 characters long. And it won't let me do an underscore or anything. You know what? Take 10 off. I'm just going to leave it at that. And now I'm going to launch coupon and see if it takes. No, this coupon code is already taken. That means it's taken by someone else. Let's put this week. 10 off this week. Whatever that means. I mean, the public sees that. Let's see if we can launch it now. All right, so I got 10 off this week. That means I pretty much own that code. and I'm not sharing it to social media. I'm not printing a coupon, not sending the coupon to a buyer group, so I can close. I'm signed into our eBay store. I don't know if the coupon's going to show up already or not, but let's go to categories. And I know I set it for our clearance category here, where things are marked down to $18.99 this week. Clicked on one of the pieces of clothing. You can see the coupon's not showing here, but if I go to view all details, when I click on it, here's the extra 10% off with the 10 off this week coupon code. Of course, they don't know what this week means. You can see here on the right hand side, it was $18.99. Now it's $17.09 with coupon code. Price details are here, and up here see all eligible items and terms. So let's click up here first and see what we find out. Extra 10% off with code. 10 off this week is my code. Expires June 23rd, which is what I wanted. Sunday evening, maximum discount $50, limit 5 per item. Exclusions apply. They can even share my offer. So these are the items that are in my 10% off, and you can see they're all priced at $18.99. A lot of clothing and some craft patterns and things that I put in here as well. Let's go to page 2. I guess I could put a plug in if you see anything you like. Check it out. But it's a mixture, and most of the items are in my clearance category. Some are in the craft category. I'm just trying this out, see what happens. Let's go back to this. There was another price here, price details on the right-hand side. All right, here it goes. $18.99, shipping is $8, discounts $1.95 for 10 off this week. It'll automatically apply during checkout. Their total is estimated $25.09, which includes sales tax and other charges at checkout. So they save $1.90, which is $18.99. Rounded up, 10% is $1.90. So that's what it looks like to the buyer. And I'll keep you posted should anything sell with the coupon. And one more tip, I was curious if I could add another category, and I went back to my categories and was able to add holiday and decor and chose the price from $18.99 to $18.99. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's 6:31 and I'm just now starting my 5 listings for the day. Monday, yeah, 6:31. Had a quick bite to eat and down here to get my 5 items listed. I have these cute little guys, some little pheasants, mermaids, a girl and a boy, 3 little miniature pieces of pottery, and these little salts. So I chose something really quick and easy, at least I hope it's quick and easy, because I need to get it done and have an evening. And here's some unsolicited advice. Unless you want to spend 3 days out of your week making YouTube videos, I highly recommend that you just stay with reselling, because that's what happens. It takes a lot of time to make and edit videos. I love doing it. I absolutely love doing it, or I wouldn't keep doing it into my 5th year. But sometimes you have to list at 6:30 at night because you've been working on videos through the day. Let's get it done. We need to talk. And as I said, like you have things too. To be honest, it's been challenging. Reselling helps us out tremendously. On Tuesday morning, I found myself opening up to you about my challenges with boot camp, and some of it that was self-imposed. So let's go back to Tuesday. We need to talk. Yep, we need to talk about boot camp. We need to talk about the realities of boot camp. Well, my reality is different from your reality, for sure. Last night, Monday evening, I was whining about having to do my listings. You know, we'd just gotten dinner over with. And let's see, what time was it when I started doing my listings? It was 6:31 when I started my listings. Mark had already photographed them. And I got done at 7:25. And I think you could probably tell from my voice that I was a little bit whiny about it. I was complaining a little bit. And it got me to thinking, how important is time management? How important is it to schedule reselling into our weekly schedules? How important is that? And it really doesn't matter what that time consists of. For me, it's working on videos. It's Tuesday morning. No, it's not morning anymore. It's noontime. And I just wrapped up doing the video, the FaceTime video, as I call it, for the video that you've already watched about wood, cashing in on wood. And now I'm videoing for the weekly boot camp. Why is this week more stressful than others? And as I said, like you have things too. Please take it with a grain of salt when I say, well, I'm videoing. You could have doctor's appointments, taking care of your grandchildren, taking care of someone who's elderly. You have a life filled with all kinds of commitments and obligations. So please take it with a grain of salt when I refer to my things that I do other than reselling is predominantly YouTube. And you know I love doing it. Or I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it. But I wanted to share a couple of things with you this week of why it's extra stressful. And I hope that you share in your comments below why sometimes it's extra stressful for you too. Because I know it must be at times. Hard to fit in the photographing and listing for reselling. So 3 weeks down, and they've all gone pretty good. And I've worked harder than I've worked in a very, very long time. I'm curious as to how it's going for you too. To be honest, it's been challenging. I didn't realize how lax I had become on my listing. I often would come down here to my desk and immediately start into editing videos. And I would just say, oh, I'll work on the listing later. I'll work on it later. And then later that day never came. So this boot camp of listing 5 items a day is pushing me. Yeah, it's pushing me. And whatever you've decided to list per day, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or more, I assume that it's pushing you too. And it's all for a good cause because we can't sell it if we don't list it, right? You know, we can't. But this week in particular has been a little more stressful, and it's my own doing. You see, I typically keep Monday through Wednesdays open to working on eBay and working on videos. And if I'm going to run around or do something, I do it on Thursdays because my video's released. You know, I do videos the first, second, third Thursday. I've released my video and I feel like, you know, Thursday's here. It's a play day. Same thing with perhaps on Friday. Well, I scheduled in fun for this week on Wednesday, tomorrow. We're meeting up with our friends, Colleen and Phil, at Bays Mountain, and we're going to walk around and enjoy the animals and the views and take some photographs, have lunch in downtown Kingsport, and maybe go to an antique mall. I scheduled it because that was the best day for them. It wasn't the best day for me, but I wanted to see them, and they've been busy and we've been busy, so Wednesday became the day. But what it ended up doing is putting a lot of pressure on myself because that only gave me 2 days to finish up Thursday's video. And sometimes I work on it sooner. I work on it here and there. But I felt a lot of pressure this week. So yesterday, Monday, I spent all day long editing. And that's why it pushed me to Monday evening to do my 5 listings. Again, just put yourself in my situation, but replace my video editing with whatever it is you have going on. So when it comes to getting our listings done, whether it's boot camp or not, we really have to be committed to it, I guess, number one. And instead of fitting it into our schedule, I think it's important to make it part of our schedule. You know, I didn't want to do those listings last night. I didn't. But I was committed. I was committed because of this boot camp. I was committed because I told you I'm going to list 5 items a day or draft them, and I didn't have 5 drafted, so I had to list my 5 items last evening. Now today, Tuesday, again, as I said, it's noontime, and we're getting ready to go get lunch and go to the post office, and then we're coming straight home today. No running around today. Then I need to get my 5 items listed today. But Wednesday, tomorrow, as I told you, I'm playing hooky, taking the day off. So I really don't have 5 items to list when I get back home. I have 5 to list and 5 to draft. And I kind of doubt we get back home before 3 o'clock. So here we go again. Boot camp isn't easy for me either. It's not. And I'm sure it's challenging for you too. But I like to think it's helping our sales. We're not having sales every day. We're not. We're not having a huge amount of sales, but the sales that we're having, we're making fairly decent profit on. It's still a very slow economy here in June of 2024. There's so many things going on. I know there are resellers that are just hitting it out of the park. We're just an average reseller, whatever average is. We don't share our sales because I've always said someone's always selling more and someone's always selling less. And does it really matter? Each of us run our businesses differently. And like you, like most of you anyway, we're supposed to be retired, reselling in retirement. And so we don't want to work as hard as everybody else. We may not feel the hustle like they do, the ones that are trying to live off of eBay. I'm making an assumption here that for you, like us, reselling is a supplement to our retirement. We're not trying to live off of it. Reselling helps us keep some money in the bank for those rainy days. And we use the reselling money for co-pays and car repairs. And oh my gosh, we just paid our car insurance and homeowners insurance. We've got the license plate renewals coming up, and it did pay for our anniversary vacation. So reselling helps us out tremendously, but it does take some work. If we really want to make some money to help with those expenses, we have to work it. And I think it does help to make it part of our weekly plan, because if we just save it to, if I find a few hours, if I have a little bit of time, more often than not, we may just not do it. We may not do that photography. We may not get it listed. So planning it and scheduling it into our day or into our week, even if life runs around it, I think it's really important to plan for it, make it important, and do it, and get things listed. If we want to see something out of it, if we want to make a little money, we have to commit to it. So sometimes though, like for me this week, I've overcommitted myself with other things, at least not on the right day. I should be playing around Thursday, not Wednesday. And I'm feeling the stress. And I just wanted to be open and honest with you that this is not easy peasy for me either. It's not. Boot camp is boot camp. My goals are different from yours. And all I really hope to do is inspire you to work on your eBay business as much as you can. I hope you leave a comment and let me know how your week is going for you, because I know we all have so many things to do no matter our age. With that said, Mark is waiting for me to go get some lunch because we had a very light breakfast, go to the post office, and then I can get back home and get to my 10 listings that I need to do today. Well, 5 listings that I'll make active and 5 that will be drafts. We found these vintage Blendo glasses. I'm taking a break from boot camp. Next up are some glasses that we found just last weekend at a church rummage sale. And we're going to talk about those. And then I'll show you the other 4 items that I got listed. We found these vintage Blendo glasses at a church rummage sale last weekend. And we decided to set them up in lots of 2 because we have 3 different colors. So we've got 2 aqua, 2 kind of a yellow gold, and 2 orange. And I'm on Google trying to look up vintage advertisement for Blendo frosted glasses to see if I can find a color name for them. Not sure that I'm going to, but I'm going to keep looking. I thought you might like to see our listing on the Blendo glasses because it's another listing with variations. I love that variation feature that eBay has. You may not find it on every listing that you do, and sometimes if you sell similar, you're not going to find it. Sometimes you just have to start a listing from scratch to find the option. But I love variation listings. Next, I'm going to show you our listing for the West Virginia Glass Blendo Frosted Clear Glasses. This is a listing with variations, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. First, from the buyer's side, and then secondly, I'll just show you a sneak peek behind the scenes. I already have a video out for listings with variations, and I'll try to remember to link it at the end of this video. And now here are the 4 other items that I got listed on Tuesday. It's Wednesday and I'm taking a break from boot camp. You're between a turkey and a bald eagle. It's Wednesday and I'm taking a break from boot camp. So come along and join us. Here are some highlights from our day. They're not moving very fast. Who's going to win the race today? Nobody.
Yeah, not quite that second one.
No. I tell you what, you're between a turkey and a bald eagle. You got the bald part right. Take your hat off. There you go. Thank you. On the move. Oh yeah, I feel it rocking now. You can see it rocking. Oh, it's you. Mark's rocking it.
Right, left, right, left, right.
12 o'clock, yep, time to get out of here. Got here at 9:30, leaving at noon. So allow a couple of hours. On Tuesday, I drafted the 5 items for Wednesday, so I'm going to show you next what I listed. So I said it was a strange week. The service wasn't there and the math just didn't add up. In the beginning, I said it was a strange week. It was Wednesday when we took our day off, our break from boot camp, and went to Bays Mountain. Had a really nice time. And then we went to lunch with our friends in downtown Kingsport. We ended up going to McAdoo's, if you know McAdoo's restaurant. We were seated right away, put our order in shortly after that, and it took over an hour to get our food. Over an hour. And yet the tables around us got their food, but we didn't get our food. Then our server finally brought 3 of our meals out, just 3 out of 4, and said they had burnt Phil's burger. They burnt his burger, so they were redoing it. And apparently they held up the rest of our meals because they were trying to get his burger redone. But they brought it out. Wasn't really hot, but they brought it out, told him about his burger. So, and our server disclosed to us that they had had a huge Grubhub order. It's kind of like when you go into a fast food place and the drive-thru gets more service than the patrons that come in and order at the counter. You know, you're always waiting for someone to take your order. Well, we got our order in, but we didn't know that our order was bumped for a large Grubhub order. Nobody told us that. And nobody had any explanation why the other tables around us got their food and we hadn't gotten our food. I mean, it was over an hour. We were hoping to go to an antique mall afterwards, but that didn't happen. So when I said it was a strange week, what happened that day at the restaurant was because it took so long to get our food, I asked our server for a discount on our meal, but I thought we should get 20% off our meal because of the excessive wait. And she's like, well, I can't do that. The manager has to do that. And the manager's really busy in the back, and I'll have her come out here. So eventually the manager came out, the kitchen manager. She might have been the manager for the whole restaurant. And I asked her for 20% off our meals because of the excessive wait, and other people got their food before ours, and his burger was burned. And I asked for, and we had separate checks, by the way. They had their check for 2 and we had our check for 2. So I asked for 20% off. I thought that was fair. And she said to us, would you like dessert? I'll give you a free dessert. Implying really that she was going to give all of us a free dessert. And we didn't want a free dessert. We said no, we would just like 20% off the bill. When our server brought the bill, the manager had only given us 10% off. And she didn't give us 10% off our pops, our Diet Cokes. She gave us 10% off just our meals. She didn't give any additional discount to our friends because they comped his burger. And by the way, when our server put down our ticket, she said that our meals were comped. But they weren't. They were discounted 10% on the food only. And, you know, drinks these days are around $3. Where I'm going with this is, I, again, wanted to speak to the manager. And our server was like, well, she's really busy. She's really busy because she's the one doing all the cooking in the back. Like one person working the kitchen is what it seemed like. I finally stopped our server again. And I said, please take this back. Please take this back to the manager. We don't have time to wait any longer. Now we've been in there, oh my gosh, about an hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, an hour and 40 minutes. Please take this ticket back. She only gave us 10% off, and I had asked for 20% off. Well, the manager came out. She looks at me, and I said again, I asked for 20% off, and you only gave us 10% off. And she says to me, I gave you 20% off. I'm like, no, you didn't. You gave us 10% off. And she proceeds to say, I took 10% off of his meal, Mark's meal, and I took 10% off of your meal. I gave you 20% off. No, she gave us 10% off. She didn't give us 20% off. 10% off of Mark's meal and 10% off of my meal is not 20% off of our ticket. It doesn't work that way. And I'm just like, what? What did she just say? At that point, there was no reason to debate her. There was no changing her mind. In her mind, she gave us 20% off. And then she says, I can't give food away. We have to make a profit. We are a business. And I offered you free dessert. And I thought a dessert for 4 people at average price minimum, like $5, would be $20 of free food. And we were only asking for 20% off of our total bill. And I was just blown away. I was just blown away. We weren't asking for free food. And 10% off of Mark's meal and 10% off of my meal does not equal 20% off of our ticket. Imagine as a seller, if we sold 10 items to someone and we gave them 10% off, and we had 10% times 10 items, and we try to claim that we gave them 100% off. I'm like, what? No, it doesn't work that way. So I'm very shocked at this new math. And this gal was in her 20s. I assumed in her 20s, but I was kind of blown away. So has that ever happened to you? That's what I mean, strange week. So anyway, we got her 10% off our meals, and I asked her to take the drinks off, Diet Coke, and she did take that off, and we left. And we will never take anyone there again, which it was their first time, and we will never go back again. The service wasn't there, and the math just didn't add up. Why am I sharing this with you? Because it's part of our strange week. I found this next item at a church rummage sale just last weekend, and we got it listed right away. And I set it up again as a variation listing, only this time I gave a discount if they buy more than one. And I'm going to show you that as well. Here's another listing with variations: vintage tiara Indiana glass amber nursery rhyme plates, sold individually. I happen to have 3 different patterns, 2 of 1. So it's set up like I do all of my other listings with variations. So I'm not going to go through that so much. But at the bottom you see here, buy 1 for $14.99, buy 2, $13.49. So let's go behind the scenes, and I'm going to show you where I found that. It's called volume pricing, and it's below the description box, and you have to turn it on. You have to toggle on the button for volume pricing. 1 plate is for asking price $14.99, but if they buy 2, they can save 10% on each plate. If they buy 3, they can save 12%. If they buy all 4, they save 15% on all the plates. So that's where you can find volume pricing. And I use it quite often. I didn't give the volume pricing discount on the Blendo frosted glasses because I thought I could hold the price without giving any additional discount. I'm expecting people to just buy 2 of 1 color. I could be wrong, and I'd be happy if they bought them all. And next I'll show you my other 4 listings for today, for Thursday. And here are the other 4 items I got listed on Thursday. And there's something that we've been doing because we are so tired of bringing things home. Here's my takeaway. I told you in the beginning that it's actually Friday when I'm doing this FaceTime for the video. And Mark and I headed out to a church rummage sale this morning. And there's something that we've been doing, and I don't know if you do this, but after we gathered up the items that we were considering buying, I say considering because we weren't committed yet, we found a quiet place and we went through everything piece by piece. And I'm really glad we did, because we put back several items. Placemats because they had stains, red glass that turned out to be flash, a necklace holder that had some wear on the base. What else did we put back? I don't know, maybe something else. And we did this last weekend too. When we went out to sales, we found a quiet area. We went through everything piece by piece, inspected it, researched it again if we needed to, and made decisions, because we are so tired of bringing things home that we end up not wanting to list because of damage or it doesn't have the value. So I highly encourage you to take a little bit of time, because I know sometimes when we're out sourcing, we get caught up in the excitement and we put things in our basket or take it to the counter, and then we find out when we get home that it has damage or no value. So slow down a little bit. Here's my takeaway: slow down a little bit. Go through your items before you pay for your items. I think you're going to find sometimes that you put some of them back, just like we did. I'm going to show you real quick here what we're listing today, and it has something to do with Mark. Recently, Mark pulled out some of the earrings that he made, and I think because we want something quick this afternoon, because it's quite late, it's about 1:30 on this Friday afternoon, And I said, I really don't want to work too hard today. I'm just not feeling it. So we're going to pull some of these earrings and get them photographed and listed. And so up next, I'm going to show you his earrings, Mark's handmade earrings. And he has so many more. We both have lots of handmade jewelry we could list. I know this week's boot camp was a little bit different. I can't hide when I'm a little bit tired, but I still got it done. I got my 5 listings per day, and you know, I just keep plugging away, and I hope you are too. Be sure to leave a comment and let everybody know how you're doing. The boot camp videos come out on Sunday. We have one more after this one for the month of June 2024, and then we're into July. And as you know, I put out my regular videos on Thursdays, the first, second, and third Thursday of the month. Although I've been releasing them a little bit early on Wednesday evening if I've got it done. So if you haven't done so, join me with boot camp, because it's going to go on through July and August as well. And leave a comment below and let me know how it's going. And if you like these kind of videos, we sure appreciate a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Vicki with Avante Avenue, and Mark and I will see you soon. Be sure to subscribe.